Thank you, Madam City Clerk. Item number 37, consideration of resolutions calling for the conduct of a general municipal election. Madam City Clerk.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. In 2016, the City Council adopted ordinance number 161585, which requires that the city's general municipal election be held on the first Tuesday after the first Monday of November in each even-numbered year. Therefore, the city's next general municipal election shall be held on November 6, 2018. To hold this election, the City Council must, before July 9th, 2018, adopt resolutions calling the election and adopting regulations for the candidate statements. The City Council will also need to adopt a resolution consolidating with the County of Los Angeles to administer the election. The city's last general municipal election, held in November 8th, 2016, was administered by the county. However, the city's elections official was highly involved with the county and also provided independent voter guides and notifications to ensure the public was adequately informed. The county administers the election with the exception of the nomination period and the publications. The county will essentially run the election, including the services associated with election supplies, voting systems, voter information pamphlets, ballots, etc. The city's elections official is obligated to meet certain tasks such as public noticing, issuing nomination papers, candidate statement verification, and handling of all Fair Political Practices Commission filings. During the candidate nomination period, the city elections official provides potential candidates with a half-hour overview and a candidate handbook. The issuance and filing of nomination papers can be complex. To ensure clear instructions, the process includes but not limited to the issuance of the nomination papers, signature verification, candidate statement printing, the cost associated with the materials and signature verification is approximately $275. So in your last action, you did approve the candidate administrative fee and the candidate filing fee. Additionally, in the past, the city has charged candidates for printing costs of candidate statements in English, but has also printed the same candidate statements in Spanish and Tagalog at no charge. A candidate statement is optional. Moving forward, the city will no longer absorb the cost for additional languages. The county has provided an estimate for costs for printing the candidate statements at $1,100 for English only, and $2,200 for English and Spanish. If Tagalog is done, the county will do that at no additional charge. The candidate statement fee.
Madam City Clerk, question.
Yes.
Point of clarification on that. So Tagalog will be done at no additional charge. If the candidate pays for both English and Spanish?
Yes. Well, that's if the candidate pays for English and Spanish. That's my understanding. If they pay for English and Spanish,
then Tagalog, if they want it, will be free.
Well, but there's a misconception about the Tagalog. So English and Spanish will be printed in every sample ballot booklet mailed to every registered voter. The Tagalog is only mailed to registered voters who has asked that their material be translated in Tagalog language.
Yes.
So that's the difference with the County of Los Angeles. Whereas when it was the city did their own voter guide, we put it in all three. We would print it in all three languages.
Got it. Thank you for that clarification.
So there is an increase in costs. We're used to pricing being around $700, but with the County of Los Angeles, they are estimating their costs to be $1,100 for English and $2,200 for English and Spanish. Plus the $275. Now the candidate statement is optional. That's not required.
What did you say?
If you-
Did you hear what you said about
Indigent does
indigent?
not apply to the candidate statement, but it will apply to the candidate filing fee.
Oh, okay.
So, Mr. Mayor, today the recommendation is that you adopt a resolution calling the election, and that you also adopt a resolution requesting a consolidation with the County of Los Angeles, and then adopt a resolution regulating the candidate fees and the candidate statements to be submitted to the voters.
Thank you, Madam City Clerk. I did have a couple of questions because I did see in your staff report, as you indicated, the cost of the election is about 99,000, or between 99,000 and 110,000. And my question is, one, if there is the additional charter to be presented to the residents, do we know how much more that will be?
So the estimate, I gave you a range. The original estimate that I got from the county was the 99,000, and that was just only for the contest of 2 council members, city clerk, and city treasurer. I then went back to them and said this: we may have possibly 2 measures on the ballot as well, and they came back with an estimate of $110.05.
Okay. So, continuing, so do we know the deadline, I know we know, but can you clarify the deadline for approving by the council if the charter is to be presented to the voters? What day is that?
The deadline of calling the election for a measure for the city would be August 7th.
August 7th, okay. Now, with respect to the other petition that's being circulated, can you clarify when that petition started being circulated and when their deadline is? And since to the extent that signatures need to be verified, and the county needs time to verify that, so how much time will they need? And so what's the status of that, if that compound question made sense?
Okay, on April 17th, my office received a notice of intention to circulate a petition repealing ordinance number 17-1637. On May 2nd, the city attorney's office provided the proponents with a ballot title and summary. The proponents then submitted a notice of publication on May 24th, 2018, and my office provided them with a letter approving their submitted petition and allowing authority to collect signatures commencing on May 2nd.
May 2nd?
May 2nd, 2018. That's the day that the clock starts, is the day that they receive, the proponent will receive
I thought I just heard you say that they published it on May 24th.
Right, but the 180-day time frame commenced the day that that the proponent receives the ballot title and summary.
Ah, okay.
So that day is May 2nd.
Okay.
180 days from the May 2nd date is Monday, October 29th. Now, for sake of argument, if the proponent's intent was to get this initiative on the ballot for November, essentially they would have to turn in their petitions, which they have to gather a little over 5,700 signatures. They would have to turn in those signatures by the first week of July to allow the 30-day time frame for my office in the County of Los Angeles to verify the validity of the signatures. The first week of July.
A minimum of 5,700 valid signatures need to be turned in by the 1st of July, or the first week of July.
Yes.
Okay. but it won't make it.
It
for-
says if it's turned in by October 29th, this council has to call for a special election.
Well, no, we don't have to.
No. Okay, so the law changed January 1st. And the code section I want to say is election code 9119. Don't quote me on that, but it's in the 9,000 series of the election code. So you can find it there. I can get you the direct code at a later time. But the law basically states that now there is no 15% signature threshold to automatically call for a special election. So the only requirement now is a 10% voter registration threshold, and the calling of the election is at the pleasure of the legislative body. So they can decide, the legislative body can decide whether or not they wanted to wait until a general municipal election or if they want to call a special election.
Okay. But it's just 10%.
So it's just a 10%.
So if you miss the January 1st deadline, the next election is when?
November 20.
November 2020.
What? Okay.
Thank you, Madam City Clerk. So with that, if there is no further discussion, I want to close the public hearing. Oh, no, this isn't a public hearing. I'm confused. Sorry. I want to move that we waive further reading and adopt resolution number 18-070, a resolution of the City Council of the City of Carson, California, calling for the holding of a general municipal election to be held on Tuesday, November 6, 2018, for the election of certain officers as required by the provisions of the law of the State of California relating to general law cities, and waive further reading and adopt resolution number 18-71, a resolution of the City Council of the City of Carson, California, requesting the Board of Supervisors of the County of Los Angeles to consolidate a general municipal election to be held on November 6, 2018, with a statewide general election to be held on the date pursuant to Section 10403 of the Elections Code, and waive further reading and adopt resolution number 18-72, a resolution of the City Council of the City of Carson, California, adopting regulations for the candidates for elective office pertaining to candidate fees and candidate statements as amended, submitted to the voters at the general municipal election to be held on Tuesday, November 6, 2018.
Second.
Been moved and seconded. If there's no further discussion, please register your vote electronically.
Motion approved unanimously.
Thank you, Madam City Clerk.